Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video of Marvel Future Revolution #/ Diablo Immortal. So we got the big announcement from Diablo Immortal today about the date it's dropping, what we can kind of expect from the game, what they're changing. And I kind of want to bring that back to talk about the current state of Marvel Future Revolution because I think a lot of the players who play MFR are the players who are going to play Diablo. And a lot of these players are going to go back and forth. But there's also a lot of players out there that they're just waiting for that game to drop. They're just waiting for something better to drop. They're logging into MFR and they're doing what I'm doing. They're watching the game. This is what I cannot stand about this game right here. You don't play it. You don't freaking play it. You can, take over manual control. But what's the point? I actually do better when I'm on auto. I was like looking at that in Invasion, and I was doing better on auto. So I was like, what's the point of this? Of course, yeah, in PvP you might want to do that, but don't even get me started on PvP because it's so unevenly matched and just broken. It's just so completely broken, and that no one really wants to play it unless you are a whale. Now, MFR has been out since August, so we're looking at I want to say 8 months or so. Actually, August 25th, so today is April 25th. And yeah, I think that's 8 months. And it's not really looking too good for MFR. Getting close to that year, what does that game look like? Well, doesn't look like a game at all. It looks like a massive money drop on something you don't actually play, you spend to win. And that could be said for a lot of mobile games right now. And I've been talking to the guys in my Discord, and a lot of them have been going to Lost Ark. This is a big reason Lost Ark has so many players on it right now, is because it's not pay to win. It's truly free to play. If you want to spend, you can spend. If you don't want to, you don't have to. There's so much to the game itself. I try to get those same players to come back to MFR. These were my OG family that I played with, since August. And we always stay in contact. We formed really good relationships with each other. And they're kind of waiting for Diablo as well. But I try to get several of them back in MFR just so we could kind of casually play until Diablo dropped. And they picked it up for about 2 days. They're like, I just can't. I was like, well, what do you mean? It's so boring. And it's such a money grab. These were the things that they were saying to me. I had somebody who was doing, top 25 in DD, doing really well in PvP. And he's like, I'm bored. There's no challenge. And he was killing everyone left and right. And he didn't find anything interesting about it. Every single content mode is the same. You're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And we have been talking to Netmarble about this. These are the changes you need to do. No one wants to watch a game where you don't do anything, or whatever you're doing is exactly the same thing from one content mode to another. Now, I think one of the reasons people have stuck around for so long is they love Marvel. And I'm right up there. I love Marvel. But even that's not even going to carry it for me anymore. I'm on here and I'm doing my dailies, and it is what it is. What I really like is the people who did come back to kind of play dailies with me, and we talk on comms and we kind of have a good time. I really enjoy that. And that is what Diablo is going to be. They keep talking about the social aspect of Diablo. So, let's put our expectations out on the table about Diablo. It's going to be social. If you don't like being social in the game, it might not be the best game for you to play. You might get really frustrated because you can't complete something because you don't want to play with other people. Now, granted, that's fine. You can have that desire. Just know that this might not be the game for you. You might want to try to find a single player game like the Harry Potter MMORPG that is coming out. That's a single player MMORPG. That could probably be a really good match for you, but not every game is going to be for everyone. The other thing too, in Diablo, there's no autoplay. You're going to have to actually play that game. And this is a big thing for Blizzard. They don't want autoplay in any of their games. I better regenerate there. They don't want autoplay, period. And I love that. I love that so much because, it's really going to hopefully cut down on the bots that are playing the game. But it's actually really going to get people in the game. Because a lot of times when you see somebody playing, you don't even know if they're their game or not. And so we're going to see that. Now, it's probably going to suck with campaign progression. But I think it'll be fun because we're actually playing the game. Secondly, the content modes, very different from one another. They have been working on this game for a very long time. We only just started hearing about it in the last couple of years because that's when they announced it. So I'm really looking forward to the content modes, and I'm the eternal optimist when it comes to any kind of gaming product. I don't care how many times a developer, well, I take that back. Square Enix and Marvel Avengers, I do not trust them to ever do a game right. Although they did Guardians of the Galaxy, and that game was a single player, so I never played it, but I heard really good things about it. But all the content modes, MFR, you need to massively fix. It is the same thing over and over and over again. And people are bored. Like, I don't know how you mess up Marvel and video game together, but you did. Like, it's boring. And I even put in the suggestions to remove autoplay from anything that isn't the campaign. So, because I think autoplay is useful in the campaign. And that got shot down by so many players. Now, I get why you want autoplay, but keep in mind, when autoplay is in a game, it makes the game so much more grindy. Way too much grindy. And you don't really play the game. And, as a gamer, I want to feel everything about the game. So, Diablo is coming out June 2nd. And we're getting a PC client as well. We're also on mobile getting controller support. On PC, we're getting mouse and keyboard support. And so these are all things people wanted from MFR and never got it. And MFR is big on only playing on a mobile device. Well, I don't want to just play on a mobile device. What if I want to play at my computer and then go to my mobile device or vice versa? People want the freedom. They want to have that choice when it comes to that. So honestly, I really don't see, in its current stage, MFR is not a good game. Could it become an amazing game? It has so many markers of the possibility of an amazing game. Problem is just they're nowhere near that. They need those content modes changed so badly. They need to figure out who they are. This is another big difference. When it comes to characters, so many people came to MFR because it was a single player. It was not a hero collector. This is not what you're going to do. You focus on one character. Now it seems like they're shifting on that, which is fine. They can change that. However, if you're going to shift from using one character to multiple characters, You have to shift the entire ecosystem at the same time. You don't just roll out alliance raids and say, okay, use a different character every month. Well, you just told us for over 8 months to only focus on one character. Okay, where are all the spec materials? Are you going to refund me the specs that I put on? What about my gear? I put thousands of dollars into this gear set specifically for this Black Widow, and that gear set is focused on critical damage and critical rate, status, effect, accuracy, these things. But now I got to put it on somebody else, and those stats don't work on them. So are you going to refund me for that? Are you going to let me take apart this armor and all these nanos? Are you going to let me change the type of armor? These were all questions that should have been happening within Netmarble, and they didn't. And who knows? Maybe they did, and they just chose to ignore them. But that's the thing. When you change the entire ecosystem of a game, you have to change the entire ecosystem or the most important elements of it. Diablo is coming out, and the game designers have said this game is designed for you to play multiple characters. They are redesigning the character development within the game to reflect that. So before they even launch, this is one of the takeaways they took from the alpha and beta testing periods, is they saw people focusing on one character and only one character, and they didn't like that. They wanted Diablo players on mobile to have the same experience on PC and on console, where players would constantly change their characters. You know, we love so much of those Diablo characters. I love using the Necromancer, and I love using the Wizard. I loved using the Barbarian and the Crusader, and especially if the Blood Knight comes out. And so I'm kind of really excited about that we get to use different characters, and they're building an entire ecosystem around that. That's one thing that, you know, we don't have currently. So, you know, at the end of the day, there are many problems with MFR. Now, I'm not going to be stupid or, you know, make you think that Diablo is going to come out of the gate with no problems whatsoever. We all are expecting them. It's a brand new game. And I'm sure there's people that are going to go in the reviews, oh, this is wrong, this is bugged, this problem. Just go into it expecting it. It's a brand new game launch. We know that there's going to be something they couldn't catch. However, I actually have a little bit more faith in Blizzard being able to produce a good product. They've done that with every other game that I can think of that I play personally. I think there may have been issues with WoW gameplay wise that they had to fix, but I've never had a problem with Diablo. So like, you know, going forward, this is like what I'm looking at within MFR. I would love to play it and have fun. I mean, I love Magic. I know her entire story because I read her in comics for so long, but she's completely boring in this game. I'm like, I'm like, it's okay. I'll do dailies and I'll log in daily and I'll get whatever free stuff that I can, you know, over time and collect it. But there really, you know, isn't anything spectacular or even lukewarm about this game. I'm really curious to kind of see the people shift over to Diablo and see how that impact is, or how that change is going to impact the developers at Netmarble for MFR. I'm really curious to see how much this game is going to change because of what's happening over at Blizzard with Diablo Immortal. I think that's going to be something to kind of like watch out for. Supposedly, we're getting a player-to-player market in Diablo. I've been screaming for that for 8 months in this game. This is what players want. They didn't want to include it because they wanted to be greedy. Players should have a system within the game to trade what they currently own or farmed with other players. Without Netmarble getting their grubby little hands on it. And so, like I said, these are going to be the differences between MFR and Diablo. And I'm looking forward to Diablo launching on June 2nd. Now, if you're looking for a clan to play with, we're recruiting players for our clan for the game starting on June 2nd. Make sure you join the Discord down below, and we'll definitely get you set up and ask you a couple of questions about your character choice and things like that. I also posted a lot more information there. I think my previous video also talks about Diablo too. But thanks guys so much for watching. Take care, and I will talk with you later.